Child, I thought that things were going to slow down, dry up, wait for a trial. But nah, the Sun has exclusively shared some more information about Shannon Sharpe and his shenanigans and that brown or black gravy, baby gravy. Shall we talk about it? Oh, yes, we shall. A sweet old auntie. Thank you, subscribers to my music reviews. All in all, you have been here through the long. Shall we get into it? Oh, yes, we shall. It's time for auntie to rise. Sweet old. It's time for auntie to rise. It's time for auntie to rise. Oh my God, y'all. Happy Saturday, everybody. I'm hoping that you all had a great day. Honey, let me tell you something. This baby, black baby gravy train that we all, honey, is off the hook. It is completely off the hook and it's getting worse and worse. We have been hearing people, content creators, YouTubers, Instagram, TikTokers, and everyone talk about this. And I was like, I'm gonna leave it alone. But I know you all, as my members and my subscribers, want to hear my point of view. Hunty, child, when I tell you that Michelle is a hot mess, express. Now Michelle looked a whole lot different. I'm assuming, okay, based on the photos, honey. But he ought to be embarrassed. He ought to be ashamed of himself. For all of us football fan lovers, like we loved Unc. But sometimes they say it be them uncles. I don't want to give up on the man, but it just ain't looking good. Y'all, it just ain't looking good. Not like it's supposed to. Okay. And I know the word is supposed to, but I said supposed to. It just ain't, y'all. It just ain't, y'all, it ain't looking good. Now, as we all know, Shannon Sharpe has, had these accusations placed on him by how old is the girl? Let me see, 19, 20, 21, 22, somewhere around in there, child. OnlyFans model or content creator to make some accusations about him and has issued a civil lawsuit against him for $50 million. Allegedly, Kid already offered 10 million. She said, no, I don't want to go. He has come out and released some tapes, some emails and text messages, and they in turn released some information as well. As a result of it, Shannon Sharpe stepped away from his job at First Take, okay, on ESPN, which of course we all know has been owned by Disney. And like he said that he was going to step away and take time for and with his family. Now a lot of people are saying that Shannon Sharpe got fired from ESPN. I don't know. I can only go off of what we have what has been made available to us. But some people have said that if he is stepping away and taking time for his family, why is he doing nightcap and everything else, right? So I ain't want to, you know what I'm saying? I ain't want to gossip, so you ain't heard it from me. But Shannon said he's got to make his paper some kind of way, honey. And if he ain't got his ESPN check, he gonna do what he got to do, okay? He gonna hit that daggone live button like all the rest of us little, okay, wait a minute, hold on, little content creators do. But honey, the Sun has exclusively revealed some stuff, honey. Their words, not mine. Their words, not mine. Okay, I just report the news, bitch. I ain't making it. Okay, I ain't out there looking for no baby gravy, brown or any other kind of color. So anyway, you know what? So anyway, I want to share some of this with y'all. Y'all, this right here, like I said, I was trying to think the best, right? Because everybody is innocent until proven guilty. And I truly do believe that deep down in my soul, honey, in my sanctified, sometimes on Sunday soul. Okay. I be trying. But let me share this article with y'all real quick, honey, and we're gonna discuss it real quick. But honey, I'm trying to tell you, I'm just like, this just ain't looking good. I was gonna share some TikTok stuff with y'all, but I'm telling you the words that they've been using on this stuff. I was like, they ain't getting my damn channel flag. So I'm gonna be basically reading and I'll be sharing, what Michelle looked like, child. But Michelle is saying words, honey, that YouTube just ain't gonna allow. So y'all please excuse me as I don't share it. Okay. All right, so let me share this daggone screen with y'all. And this is the ex Michelle. And child, this is the Sun report. And girl, I was sitting up there like, oh my goodness. It says that he was watching me. Shannon Sharpe's ex, Michelle Evans, was scared for her life after his threats for filing a restraining order against him. Okay. She spoke about her alleged attack. Okay, this was published on May 2nd. And this is Michelle when she was working, child. This was Michelle when she was working downtown to the newscasting or news broadcasting or wherever she was working at. But this is her right here. And I'm gonna let y'all see what Michelle done turned into. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I ain't got time for all of, the mess and the shenanigans and stuff like that. But honey, Michelle show don't look like this Michelle. I don't know which hair color is the right one and which one ain't the right one. Like, I don't know. But we're gonna go ahead on and click this button real quick. The sound is off on purpose because she be saying a whole bunch of stuff. Okay, here we go. Look at Shannon. Now look at Michelle. Child. Oh, oh, Teddy. Oh, Teddy, down for me now. Mm-mm-mm. This Michelle. I ain't said you did. I didn't say you did. You said it. I didn't say it. You said that. Jimmy Fallon said, well, dang, what happened? I see, that's what I'm saying. I didn't say that. Y'all said that. Okay, I had to at least look at one comment, hoping one person said it. This is a mess. This lady has been incarcerated. Child, if you hear the way that she wrote up her case, child, she using, honey, I don't know how many thesaurus that she had out, child, Bible concordances. Like, I don't know where this girl got her words from, but she said, I'm suing them. I don't have a lawyer, maybe the other one to pick her up. But honey, I'm trying to tell you, she said, I don't have a lawyer. I've been to the school of hard knocks, okay? Shannon Sharpe's ex, Michelle, has claimed she was scared for her life. In an exclusive sit down with the U.S. Sun, Michelle Bundy, now 53, recounted the allegations that she made in her lawsuit against Shannon Sharpe. Now, as we all know, or maybe you don't know, I'm here to let you know that she had already filed a lawsuit against him Allegedly, the child got locked up, okay? Went through some things, okay? A couple of evictions and like that, okay? I don't know what happened to her husband because the girl was husband and so much, she just got so much going on with her that I don't know whether or not she credible. But she said downtown to their relationship about 100 years ago that she was a pretty young thing. And she went through some things with this man. And everybody just can't be lying. Or maybe I'll let y'all decide. Let me finish. She said that this altercation, the grape that happened to her in 2010. And in 2023, she filed a defamation case against him for some bullcrap. So he had made a statement somewhere and she didn't like it, so she filed a defamation claim. Evans claimed that her and Shannon dated for nearly a decade before she filed a restraining order against him in 2010. Okay. She stated that she met Shannon while she was working at like a local TV sports as a local TV sports reporter back in 2002. She said that they met in the press room at the Broncos in April of 2002, but she said they didn't start dating until they met up again at this club called Club Blue 67 in Denver. She said he started pursuing her pretty heavily, and she said of their second meeting in the fall of the next year. She said she resisted falling for him, but he was charming than the mother. Okay, he was charming as hell. She just was like, oh my God, he liked that. She said that they were together a number of years and they had a relatively open relationship that wasn't without its bumps in the road. She said, but everything came crashing down on her ass in 2010. She said that she was dating him and her husband and living with her husband. I guess that's why I was open. I wonder whether or not the husband knew that this was an open relationship. I'm just saying. Did the husband know this was an open relationship? I mean, let's call a thing a thing. Did the husband know this was an open relationship? Anyway, I digress. Let's move on. She said that he started pressuring her to leave her boyfriend, but she claimed that the football player wasn't being faithful, his daggone self. She said they had this argument about the fact that he had removed one girl from his Atlanta house and put another girl in the house, and he didn't tell her nothing about it. She said he had asked her to break up with her husband at the time. So was it the boyfriend? Okay, she said the boyfriend. Okay, so it was a husband or a boyfriend. Get that together, boo, because all of that stuff matter. She says, at the time, she said I was dating both of them at the same time. She said, it's like, wait a minute, you want me to be with you, just with you, but you want to be with other people, right? So she said that this was one of the worst arguments that she had ever gotten into in her home life, okay? And so she, she claimed in her lawsuit, which she filed in December of 2023, that their fight was explosive. And she said he was controlling, he was domineering. She said he was manhandling her and he wanted to have acts, and she told him no. She's saying that this is where the problem came in at when she told him no. She said, I told him specifically. She said, I swear to God, this is what I said. She said, I swear to God, this is what I said. She said, I had told him no, because you gave it to somebody else. She said, I didn't only tell him no, I told him why. And that was the why, because he had given it to somebody else. And he wouldn't take no for an answer. So she said he overpowered her, put her downtown on her knees, put his down on her mouth a kiss. And after he had gotten enough of that, he put her on a. She said, I said no. I said no. And so it was the hardest. She said, yeah, this is too hard. In the interview, if y'all gonna watch it like downtown somewhere on TikTok, because I think on TikTok you can put anything you want to put on there, but on this month we won't be. She is visibly shaken as she recalls this. And the thing about it is I need to stop because, this woman really could be a victim. And I ain't trying to make light of it, right? I'm just trying not to be as serious as this situation is. It's just been really hard to process it. Because I really did respect Shannon Sharpe. Y'all, I'm like, seriously. He came from nowhere on the YouTube circuit. And I love watching him and Ocho. And he went through his stuff too. But now looking back at clips and stuff like that where Shannon has said things, you just be kind of looking like with the side eye on this. Thank you so much. Hold on. Thank you so much, Gertine McGee, for the $2 super chat. Thank you, sweetie. You did not have to do that, but you did. Thank you so much. I appreciate you. Thank you, beloved. She said that she didn't plan to go to the police about it or to report the incident to the police because she claimed that he had threatened her to keep quiet. She said he started coming at her saying if she tells anybody, he'll use everybody he knows to destroy her. She said, which he basically has. She said that she repeated claims. So she said because he repeated these claims over and over again that she filed a restraining order against him back in 2010 because of the threats that he was making. She said that the reason why he was doing it was because she believed that he was just so worried that it would get out. She said he kept calling her at work. And she said when he kept getting aggressive and having very aggressive behavior, she said she knew at that point he's not going away. And she said he was going to destroy her. He was going to ill her. And he told her that he was watching her. She said, and then she went and got a protective order. She said, I had enough. She said that after she did that, she felt even more threatened. She said that she believed that the lawsuit that she filed against him for defamation was because she believed that he had doxed her because her address got out. And that was something that she had put like in her, lawsuit in 2023. She said she literally had somebody stop by her apartment. She said the door of her apartment led right out, basically to the sidewalk. She said somebody walked up to her apartment, came up to her door and said, shut the fuck up, bitch. She said they were screaming it at the top of their lungs. And she said she had a daughter, and she was like, oh, no, 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 no. Okay. She also claimed she believed that there was someone lurking around her house, and they was parked in front of her driveway when her daughter was home alone around the same time. She admitted she did not know if these incidents were connected to him, but I guess she felt like it was because she did what she did. Y'all understand what I'm saying? She felt like she did that. Hey, boo. Hey, Tamika. Let's keep going. This is sad this, y'all, this is sad. She said that she said after these incidents, she decided to drop the restraining order. She said because she felt like the police at that time were corrupt and she was too scared. So did she file a mother or did she not? See, this is the stuff. Golly, I gotta be careful how I say this. This is the stuff that confuses me because at first she said she filed it, and then she said that she dropped it. So did she file it or no? Like, do they have a record when she filed this restraining order? Do we got a record? She said that she was in a trauma mindset. Let me tell you something. In my life, I have found one. I have found one. And one no trauma mindset. I did what I knew I had to do, especially when you got a child. Because what I won't go do is raise my child to an age where she understood what was going on. Plus, what we not going to do is a Jane Fonda around this month. Is that her name? Let's get physical. Physical. No, we won't. We weren't doing that. Not at all. And so when you understand, do I want to bring up my child in this atmosphere? Do I want to live in it? I ain't got time to be traumatized or have a trauma mindset. I got a mindset that says you going to get out this by hook or by crook. You going to do whatever you got to do. And what you going to do is you going to do it scared. You going to do this scared. You going to do this in fear. You going to do this trembling. You going to do this crying on your girlfriend's shoulders. You going to do this because what we not going to do is live in fear of what could happen. I'd rather live in fear of what I did do and the consequences of it, other than the fear of what I did not do. You will stay in perpetual fear. I hope that made sense up in this month. Okay. We're not going to walk around in fear. And then because if I don't deal with the fear, then my child got to live in the fear that I didn't deal with. And if I go past this point in my life, right, I'm going to get to the other side where my child ain't affected by it, ain't growing up in this trauma. Because what we not going to do is trauma bond. We're going to grow up in a healthy, loving relationship, in a healthy, loving home by hook or by crook, by restraining order or whatever. Yeah, I've told my story multiple times. We ain't no daggone trauma. Mm-mm. The trauma is me living in it. Because what we not going to do is file one and pull it back. And I'm wondering if she filed it. But anyway, I digress up in this month. Okay. Thank you so much, Lenora Jackson, for the $10 super chat. Love you, Auntie. Love you too, boo. Love you too. So you never know who done went through stuff and what they done went through and how they got over. But you don't get over by living in fear. And trouble don't last always. And if it ain't nothing else that I've learned in my whole life, is trouble don't last always. There's a way of escaping, a way out for your. And here it is. This is something she went through back in 2002, and she's still living with that in 2025. That's what happens when you don't do what you got to do, when you got to do it how you got to do it. And what did her daughter live in? See, she ain't talking about that. But with her, if she decided she want to go to trial, all that coming up. Okay, anyway, let me get on back to this. Okay, like I said, She said, no, you fear for your life. You're traumatized. You're not thinking straight. You're having anxiety and panic attacks. And she said she was worried that he would get a hold of the police officer and who knows what will happen. And so it was just a decision. It was a decision. She said that a lot of people make. Girl, you a hoe. Okay, well, you know what? She said she felt like she was going to be painted by his team as someone unstable person. But if you look at her lawsuit, that is unstable than a chair with three legs, bitch. She said they always say the woman is crazy. See, she's using stereotypes. She's using stereotypes and excuses, in my opinion. The women this, the women that. Everybody's situation is different. So what we not going to do, what we not going to do is put a woman in a box. Maybe I'm looking at this different, but I am not. Hey, Pam, I'm not going to allow her to put me in that box with her. No, you're not. No, you're not. She says they always say that the woman is crazy. You know, hey, it might be at this point after everything I've dealt with. So she said I might be crazy at this point after everything I dealt with. She said, but back then, no, I definitely wasn't crazy. Now, why would she say that? And you know what? Just to prove people, just to make sure that people understand this, okay? Just to make sure that people understand this and don't think that I'm talking out, I just out my dome. I want to show you that this is what she said. So she said, now I think I'm crazy. That's why you got to handle your business when it's time to handle your business. And you don't wait 23 years later on to handle something. If you can see in this paragraph, where is it? Where is it at? Back then, no, no, definitely not crazy. And to see him paint me the way that he did, first off, I'm not somebody crawling out of the woodwork to talk about my connection with him. Like he insinuated in his statement, I've been out, I've been suing him. But right here, she says they always say that the woman is crazy. Hey, I might be at this point after everything I've dealt with, but back then I wasn't crazy. What are we saying and what are we doing? It's been 23 years. And I'm not trying to be insensitive because when something like that happens, I can imagine. She's been incarcerated and everything else. She wrote her lawsuit, filed her lawsuit from the jail library. Is she gonna be credible? Is she gonna be credible? Because when you coming up against a giant like this, not to say he's a giant, I'm just saying the whole process is a giant. You gotta be credible. And what you don't want to do is give them ammunition and say, "Yeah, bitch, I'm crazy now." What are we doing? What are we doing? When asked for comment for this story, Sharpe's team referenced the statement. He said, "It should be no surprise that when someone's famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out of the woodwork to share their connection to that person in an attempt to profit from that alleged relationship. In many cases, these stories or accusations are nothing more than old news, fanciful exaggerations, or sometimes blatant misrepresentations of facts." The statement continued, "This is obviously purposeful, designed to create a fabricated narrative. This is exactly what is happening to Shannon Sharpe and the resurrection of the case involving Michelle Evans. It's a perfect example of that. Sadly, Miss Evans became obsessed with Shannon and decided to manufacture a claim against him. When she could not find a lawyer to pursue her outrageous story, she filed a civil complaint on her own that is completely devoid of merit. The fact is that Shannon has had no contact with this person for many years, and it is our understanding that she is still on probation after serving 3 years in prison for trying to off her husband so that she could hopefully pursue a relationship with Shannon. Oh, it gets worse. We're going to be out here for a minute. So I don't know if y'all need to take a drink break or what y'all need to do, but we're going to be out here for a minute. According to the Sun, just 1 second. In her 2023 lawsuit, in which Evans sued Sharpe for defamation, she claimed Sharpe was publicly falsely alleged that she tried to off her. In the suit, Evans also claimed that the sports personality has repeatedly referenced their legal disputes on television and on other public platforms, which she says has caused her significant harm to her reputation. What motherfucking reputation do you got if you in jail? Next, in another article by The Sun, they allege that Shannon was arrested at least twice before allegedly doing what he did with two women decades before he was accused. They said that The Sun can exclusively reveal that Shannon was charged with battery in 1995 and 2004. In one incident, The Sun alleges that he got into an altercation with a woman at his home in 1995. A police spokesman said at the time, each said that they were kicked by the other one. Now, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, that this was one of his baby mamas. Now, as you all know, Shannon had 3 babies by 3 different women in the same year. Let me walk. Yup. Shannon had 3 babies by 3 different women in the same year. Allegedly. They all 3 the same age. I think that that's that baby gravy that the girl was talking about. The baby gravy, she said. I don't believe that Shannon's daughters are twins, but let me Google that while you're. Let me Google it right now. So let's see. Okay. All right, y'all. Let's see if Shannon got twins. Okay. I don't remember that when I was coming up, but maybe you're right. Does no. No. Shannon Sharpe does not have twins. Shannon Sharpe has 3 children. A son named Kari and 2 daughters, one named Kayla and Kaylee. The 3-time Super Bowl champion never married, but has 3 children. Sharpe has kept the identity of his children's mamas private. All the Sharpe children were born in the early 90s during the beginning of his NFL career. So I'm going to continue on with my story. But Shannon Sharpe had 3 babies at the same time by 3 different women. Okay. Now, Shannon, okay, so let me do this. Oh, crap. Let me do this because I want to make sure we get this straight. Okay, so I stand corrected. Shannon has 3 kids. Kayla and Kyrie were born in 19. 19- So two of them was born in the same year. Kayla and Kyrie were born in 1992. Kaylee was born in 1994. And as of this year, 2025, Kayla and Kyrie are both 32, getting ready to turn 33, while Kaylee is 30. They're not twins. They got different baby mamas. So I stand corrected. Y'all okay out there? I think we all okay. Because we's grown. In one incident, he got into an altercation with a woman at his home. The woman was charged with destruction of his property after she allegedly broke some glasses and things, according to a spokesperson speaking to the Washington Post. Later, less than a decade later, he found himself in similar charges stemming from an incident with yet another woman inside his home. A Fulton County clerk confirmed to the U.S. Sun that Sharpe was charged with simple battery back in July 22nd of 2004. The woman claimed Sharpe lifted her up to physically remove her from the home. The alleged incident occurred in June, and the woman reported it 2 weeks later. Then he reportedly turned himself in and was thrown in jail. He posted a $1,000 bond less than 24 hours later. He said, his lawyer said that he appropriately lifted her ass up and gently put her outside of his home. But this case went to mediation, and they have been expunged. They said when his son tried to contact Shannon's, I can't even say his fucking name, Shannon's lawyer, he said it should be of no surprise that when someone famous is in the news, all sorts of people crawl out the woodwork. Ain't even one of these women crawl out the woodwork. When they let it be done. This is people going out there and pulling this up on them. How do you pick? Now, from my understanding, and I may be wrong with it, the woman that got picked up was a baby mama. Now, that's the word on the curb. Like I said, I don't know if it's true, actual, or factual. That's what the rumor is. Okay, Auntie's advice don't, she ain't put that out there. That's what's on the street. So people going back and pulling his stuff. There's $50 million suit against Shannon. $50 million. Now, in the text message, the girl said $25K per cheek. There are allegations that Shannon had offered her $10 million. She turned it down and said, I want the nifty 50. Instead of it being $25K, okay, per cheek. Don't start, Maisie. Okay, just 1 second, y'all. This is live. This is how I go when it's live. Have a good evening. Thank you for stopping by Auntie's Advice. And I am back, and this is what happens when it's live. Okay. Welcome. Welcome, welcome, everybody. Now she's charging, instead of 25K per cheek, now she's charging 25 million per cheek. You know, there's been a lot of controversy out there, y'all. Just a whole bunch of stuff downtown to the street about why people believe that men like Shannon like these young girls. How many women out here downtown in the chat used to be a young girl? How many of us know what the experience is of an old man having the audacity to try to holler at you while you were younger? How many people have been catcalled on the street by men who look worse than your granddaddy because you got that young, fresh look and that young, fresh body? How many old women downtown in this chat have met a man like Shannon Sharpe when you was only 18, 19, 20 years old? How many of you felt offended, disrespected, unarmed, disgusted, fearful because some old man, your daddy's age or older than your daddy, got the audacity to try some shit like this? I'm losing my fucking I try to keep myself together. I heard someone say, you know what? Think it, but don't say it. It's disgusting when you really look at it. And people can do what they want. Men can say, oh, she's 18. But were we? Were we? And how do you know? How do you know if I'm really 18? Do you call me with my high school ID card? How do you know? Do you go down to my high school and talk to my high school counselor? Do you go and present yourself and introduce yourself to my family as my new boyfriend that I've been in a relationship with for 2 years? When we bringing my family in on this shit? In my opinion, if you can't make the family, you ain't legit. That's my opinion. Who's dating somebody? And the thing about it is, the unfortunate thing about it is, they had to put something in place. And in some states, it's 16. They had to put something in place to protect. I don't know who's telling the truth in this, right? I don't know. It seemed like they was playing, these little games, the big black man and the little white girl. Like, what the fuck is that? People can do what they want to do, but leave me alone with that. You go ahead on, you do what you do. But don't come around here and talk about putting nothing around my neck. Don't come around here putting nothing around my neck. You gotta be a special person to be into stuff like that. Cause I'm telling you right now, I can't even imagine doing it when my ancestors had stuff around their neck. So the thought, that's just me. I'm a tap on that and I'm a tap back off of it. Because I want us to leave in a halfway good mood and not be mad and swinging and stuff downtown to the street in the corner store. But when you look at the grand scheme thing of this, and the fact that we call him Unc, I can't call him Unc no more. I can't do it because it just leaves a dirty taste in my mouth. I don't know whether or not this man did this. Like I said, he is innocent until he is proven guilty, but it has absolutely changed the way that I see him. I can't even go over there anymore. And the thing about it was it was so many clues dropped about who he was. And that about who and how he felt about it. I'll never forget when he made the comment that he date by his wage. What the does that mean? Monique tried to tell him, and Kat sat out there in his face. And there were other people who tried to warn him. But I remember when he was having that conversation, and I played it on another video that I did on this, y'all. I will make sure that I attach that. That, when Monique said, "You don't need no young girl," he said, "Yes, I do." How's that working out? And are there other women who just too scared to say something? Are there other women who have decided and to live in their trauma, who didn't have the tenacity to push through the fear and do what she needed to do for herself? Are there other women who don't have someone in their life that they can trust and talk to because all their life they've been through this? But I remember being a young girl. I sure the hell do. And I remember those nasty mother who would stand in front of the liquor store just getting off their jobs, ain't even been home to see their wife and their kids, and trying to hit on me because I'm going to the store get my mama a Pepsi. I never forget how I felt. And these girls are out here on OnlyFans and they doing this stuff. And my whole thing is this: if you ain't smart enough to know that you being set up, let's just say, ain't none of this true. Let's say that we are convinced that this was a setup. What was the word that he used? Oh my God, what word did she use? I can't remember. Let's just say you ain't smart enough to realize that text messages, phone calls, a shakedown. Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. Thank you, boo. Let's just say this was a shakedown. At your grown old age, and we're just having a discussion. At your grown old age, you didn't know that text messages, videos, emails can be interpreted to set you up for a shakedown. At your grown age, you didn't know that there would be people like me, people like some of y'all that will be disappointed that you even set yourself up for a shakedown because you're supposed to be our unk. You know, being our unk don't mean you perfect. Being our unk don't mean you perfect. Being our unk means that we value the information coming out of your mouth. Being our unk means that we feel related to you as if you were a family member. Being our unk means that there's a certain vulnerability that we give to you to speak into our lives, to influence our decisions. That's what being our unk means in our community. So this was a shakedown, as he says that it was. Thank you so much, Tracy Craig. This was a shakedown. Then how do you talk to us, Unc, so that we can avoid getting a shakedown? We just thought you were smarter than this. And it's very disappointing. So disappointing on so many levels. Thank you so much, beloved, for the $2 super chat. Thank you. Thank you so much. Gerthine McGee. Y'all, I'm going to leave this stuff with y'all. I don't know what the truth is. None of us really do. None of us do. I want it to be a lie. I don't want it to be true. I'm not rooting for it to be true. I'm not rooting for him to lose his career. But I absolutely know with me, he has lost his influence. And he has lost that enduring term that we use, or at least I use in my community, unk. He's just plain old Shannon Sharpe. Whatever that means. Thank y'all so much for being here. Y'all let me know downtown in the comment section. If you have not already hit the subscribe button, please hit that subscribe button. And make sure you turn on your notifications so that every time I am live, you are live as well. Thank you so much, Ms. Gerthine McGee, and thank you so much, Lenora Jackson, for your super chats. Thank you so much, y'all. Y'all let me know what y'all think down in the comment section. A special shout out to our moderator, Raydella, for always making sure that the chat is nice and safe. I love y'all, and until we meet again, y'all be safe out there in those streets and in the water.